So can I read like your long ass comment you left, and then we can kind of go through it together?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, try not to get my feelings hurt, okay? I'm going to respond to this the best way I can. You completely made an ass out of yourself with this discussion. You've been talking about this topic for about a month now, and you had to backtrack and re-clarify multiple times on social media because you poorly articulated your point. What made it even more frustrating is that you constantly label people, some of whom have actually been sexually assaulted, as not understanding or not caring about reducing child abuse when you've admitted that you misspoke. One of my favorite moments is the 1 hour, 10 minute, and 30 minute mark when Monkey asks, what does destigmatize mean? And you can't even answer the question. And then when Monkey proceeds to give the definition, then you immediately say no and then backtrack again when you realize he's right. The most ridiculous part of this conversation is when Monkey asks you multiple times, would you allow a non-offending pedophile to babysit your child? And you answer no. Because you do not trust that the therapy actually works, that would be the equivalent of someone saying drinking mercury isn't harmful, and then the following sentence say, but I wouldn't drink it because I would die from it. Then you have the nerve to insult Monkey and his audience like a douche. At no point was that conversation becoming hostile until you started throwing insults. This whole conversation was sad because I feel that this is a genuine combo that needs to be had, but you lack the tact, skill, and decency to have it. Beyond disappointing.
Yes, that's me.
Whew. All right. I've just been flamed in my own comment section. So you want to elaborate on this, and then we can kind of because I already have some responses here that I thought through.
No, I'm just going to be respectful. I'm not going to use any insults, but that's what I said. Yeah, I stand by it.
Okay, so let me go over here when I can't answer the question. When I was ashamed so that they're incentivized to get therapy.
What does destigmatize mean?
That's really all I'm trying to get at.
What does destigmatize mean?
I might have like 30 minutes quick. I'm still at work, so.
Okay, I got you. Let me just play this clip really quickly so we know what you're talking about, and then we'll start talking only. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna just deafen myself, so nothing personal.
Less shame.
No, I want there to be a little bit of a reduction in the shame so that they're incentivized to get therapy.
What does destigmatize mean?
That's really all I'm trying to get at.
What does destigmatize mean?
No, you realize I'm leaving in a minute, right?
What does destigmatize mean?
I'm not sticking around to answer any more of your questions.
What does destigmatize
Why don't you go over to webstersdictionary.com? You can learn all about it. Okay, it's really
cool.
But why do you unironically...
This one fucks him up because destigmatize means remove shame.
No.
Yes, it does. Okay, hold on. Absolutely fucking does.
Yes, destigmatize does mean reduce shame. It also means reduce the response to that thing and the levels of disgust. Okay. All right, I have you unmuted. So, two things. One, he's asking me to define destigmatize, even though I had already given him that definition in the debate. The second thing is when he gives me the definition and then I say no and then clarify. Literally, that was not me backtracking. That was just that I spoke too soon, and I shouldn't have said no. What I should have said is, I understand that's what you're reading, but this is what I mean by it with reducing the stigma. That wasn't like a backtrack. A backtrack is usually like, here is my position, and then throughout the argument, you keep on backing away from it. This was me like misspeaking and right away correcting myself.
Okay, I'll give you that, but can it be interpreted as a backtrack because you literally said no? I literally put the numbers there.
I know, we just watched it.
Yep, I can't hear you, but I'll give you that, but that's not the biggest, that's not really the takeaway point. That's not the reason why I called you.
Okay, well, I just wanted to clear that one up then first and foremost, because you're trying to say there were multiple instances where I backtracked, and other than me not answering another one of his super bad faith questions, you said that me saying like no and then being like, well, okay, that is what it means, but what I mean by that, so like that's not a backtrack as much as it's like I shouldn't have spoke so quickly.
So if you want to use, if you're not comfortable with the term backtrack, that's fine. But I'll say misspoke. But elaborating my comment, you have been talking about this. You can highlight the comment as well. You have been talking about this for about a month, and you have admitted, and I'm referencing the other video that you had when you talked about talking with the girl. You have admitted that you have misspoke, and you've had this conversation about, I'm going to guess like 5 times, and you have admitted that you have not used a proper articulation. And I've seen your Twitter. I've seen your talks with on YouTube. I'm referencing the one with the female.
Are you talking about the one in which I said that I deleted the tweet because people were misunderstanding what I meant by destigmatize?
I think it's the one with the female. It's the one with the talking about the female. It's a victim.
Yeah, okay, I know which one you're talking about, the victim one. Wait, what did I say that I misspoke on?
are here to.
You misspoke on how you articulated your destigmatized claim. You admitted that you did not use. You could have used a better articulation.
Even my original tweet that I went and deleted to re-clarify simply was acknowledging the fact that the way in which the social stigma is so incredibly extreme, it has a reverse effect. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. So if you don't want to use a backtrack, that's fine. But people can interpret that as a backtrack. That's what I said. I said that there were multiple times over the past month where you have backtracked. Is that a unfair characterization of what you did?
Yes, absolutely.
So what would you call that?
Backtracking is not clarifying your position, which never... Hold on, wait. Backtracking would be backing away from my position. I have had the same position. I simply said that the first tweet was being ridiculously misconstrued, partially by obtuse dipshits, and so I had to clarify my tweet further. That's not me backtracking, man.
But then also you said in your own tweet that we need to destigmatize pedophilia, right? And then you also said after the huge backlash that you said that there needs to be a healthy destigmatization. In my opinion, that's backtracking. That's
that's the problem though, is that's the exact reason why I clarified and why I noticed the necessity to clarify was because saying we need to destigmatize this is, unfortunately, I feel like if anybody's acting in good faith, truthfully, I feel like they could interpret what I was saying pretty clearly. But I recognize that people are not good faith. I also recognize that it doesn't hurt to further clarify my words. Had I said something, well, can I just explain what a backtrack would look like? It would be if I said, hey guys, we need to reduce the stigma. And then everybody gets mad at me and I'm like, okay, no, keep the stigma the same. I just think that sometimes like the wood chipper thing is a little far. That would be more of a backtrack.
No, I'm not in those semantics, but it can be interpreted. And I think if you want to publish your own tweet, that's fine. But my point in my comment was, you have been speaking about this over a month, and then after the backlash, you have backtracked, and then I gave you numbers of when you backtracked. I mean, it's not a good point.
Your examples of me backtracking were not real examples. That's the problem. That's what we're arguing about right now.
Hunter, if you want to use misspoke, that's fine. I mean, it's not a big point, but that's fine. If you want to use misspoke, it's all semantics to me.
Wait. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. If somebody says if somebody says like, Hunter, you know the sky is blue, right? And I'm like, no, stop. Well, oh, okay, hold on. Yes, of course the sky is blue. Then yeah, but is that me backtracking suddenly what I said before?
No, that's not backtracking. No, but that wasn't the same. That wasn't the same as what you did. Hunter, we literally have your text. We literally have your tweets online, Hunter. I was literally. This was literally a drama.
If you're talking about the tweet, okay. But by you admitting, at least by you biting the bullet on when it comes to the sky is blue example that I just laid out, that is what happened as far as them saying this is what destigmatized me, and then I said no. Oh, okay, wait. Actually, yes, that is what it means. But so that there's that. As far as the actual tweet that I made. None of this was backtracking. My position stayed the same.
Hunter, so if you don't want to characterize it as a backtrack, that is totally fine. But
it's actually like insincere to classify it as backtracking. That's not what backtracking means in an argument.
I feel that it's disingenuous to online right now to say that it's disingenuous for me to label it as backtracking when you received a massive backlash from multiple people, Hunter.
So do you realize that it's not backtracking, but rather if I'm receiving a huge... Hold on, wait. If I'm receiving a huge amount of backlash, partially because people are misunderstanding what I meant by destigmatize, and so I delete that tweet and then make a follow-up tweet further clarifying my position, that is not a backtrack. My position never changed. It was simply the way in which I was articulating it, and the fact that a bunch of dipshits are on Twitter who were purposely being obtuse and misinterpreting my words. I'm done. Are you still there?
I couldn't dream of being a man half as good as you, Hunter.
Hello? No, it's what happened? All right, I'm just gonna message you directly, man. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Is this a problem on my end? Oh wait, are you still there now?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I don't know what happened. It was like just something cut out suddenly.
Sorry about that. I mean, it's just semantics. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not important. But I do
Okay. So
feel.
you wait. You are now backtracking.
I'm
Yes,
not.
you are. And you're literally demonstrating it because one of your
Let me
major
throw-
points was that I have to backtrack and clarify, and I failed at articulating it. And now you just said, oh, I don't really care because, it's semantics. That's unironically you backtracking right now, dude.
Very clear. I'll speak very slowly. I feel it's a backtrack over the Twitter drama that you received from your articulation from how you felt. Now, I also said that if you don't want to characterize it as a backtrack, when I literally went over the highlighted comment, that's fine. That's your opinion. But I also added there have been multiple people on Twitter, on your channel, even the female that called about in your video that have felt that you have fully articulated your point. I also said if you don't want to label it as a backtrack, that's fine. It's your opinion, Hunter. Saying we're calling.
Everybody has their own opinion. But, I mean,
Right,
we're
well,
arguing about opinions right now, and your opinion is literally objectively incorrect. So, let me ask you this. Wait, stop. Do you think that my position changed when I clarified my tweet?
Yes.
So you think
yes.
my position based upon the original tweet and then my clarity tweet, you think my position changed?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Can you please explain at how that's the case?
I think that you made a comment saying that you made a comment about I don't want to be put online. You made a comment about non-offending pedophiles, and after a series of tweets and conversations with people who tweeted at you, you backtracked, or we can use misspoke, or you can use whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
But those words matter. So when you say backtrack, this is the definition of it based on Collins English Dictionary. What is backtracking in an argument? If you backtrack on a statement or stop, please, let me just read this. If you backtrack on a statement or decision you have made, you do or say something that shows that you no longer agree with it or support it.
I do. I have your exact words, Hunter. So your exact words were, there's a difference between. I'm sorry, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have any Twitter, but you can stop me. You can stop me if I'm wrong. Okay. That we should destigmatize non-offending pedophiles, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Or no. I think I said destigmatize pedophilia.
That's correct. That's correct. And then you said after the drama, you said we need a healthy amount of stigmatization. That's backtracking. That's backtracking.
It's not.
That would be like we need to destigmatize rape and murder, and then immediately after I get yelled at, we need a healthy stigmatization. That is backtracking.
No, it's not. It's because people are dumb fucks who think unironically that if you say destigmatize something, then people think, oh, well, that means that you want to completely remove the stigma. That's why I always quibble with everybody about, hey, let's talk about what level of stigma we should reduce. And here's my original tweet. I'm going to give you my original tweet and then my clarity one. Okay, somebody posted it, thankfully. If you care about reducing child sexual abuse, you'll advocate to destigmatize pedophilia. I know it sounds yikes, but before you shut your brain down, recognize that pedophilia only refers to someone attracted to prepubescent children. They need help, not demonization. And then, my follow-up tweet was, I've deleted my controversial pedo tweet due to the misunderstanding of the word destigmatize. I meant the stigma needs to be reduced to the point of making it easier for pedophiles who haven't harmed kids to seek therapy without fear of total retribution. There would still be a level of stigma, but reducing a stigma is still under the definition of destigmatize. Did you cut out again? Oh boy. And we're back to the muting out. Wanting to help pedophiles, LOL? Yes, actually. If you think that that's like an LOL thing, then you're probably dumb. All right, Black Dynamite, I'm trying to call you here now directly in your Discord DMs because I don't know why it keeps cutting out in our server. Oh, man. I wanted to get to the second point here in a minute, too. Hey, can you hear me now?
Hey, sorry, I'm on my jobs. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yo, do you know if that, is there anything you can do to, like, make that not happen again?
Yes, I'm going to connect to my other Wi-Fi. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I apologize. It's my...
No worries.
Okay, now we should be all set. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I'll just summarize. I'll just finish up this point with just saying, like, this is literally just like an adjustment of the rhetoric used. The actual logic and argument never changed. So it's by definition not a backtrack.
And I made myself clear, but I had a question for you. My question is,
so wait,
I'm curious.
Are we moving off the backtrack? Are we going to be done with the backtrack conversation? Or we can move on to more parts of your comment now?
If you want to, but I already made myself clear. If you don't want to see us a backtrack, then that's fine. But I think there's reason to believe that there was a backtrack. I mean, it was all over semantics. You know, misspoke, backtrack, re-clarify, all semantics.
No. First of all, semantics matter, so I don't know why you're like writing it off as just semantics. Second of all, clarifying and backtracking are two massively different things.
I just not in your case. Not in your case, Hunter. Not in your case. And I think many people agree with me.
First of all, if everybody on planet Earth agreed with you, it doesn't mean that you're correct.
That's right. But my question is to you, Hunter. I'm curious, how many people communicated to you about your tweet? How many people? Just guess.
How many people what?
Came to you about your tweet.
Like got mad at me about it?
Yes, I'm curious. Yes.
I don't know. I was getting dogpiled by some of the most like deranged degenerates on planet Earth.
Estimate.
What?
Estimate.
I don't know. Are you going to use this as a backtrack because I can't answer the direct number of how many people tweeted at me? I don't fucking know, but it was a lot. I was getting dogpiled.
A lot. My point is that I think it's very interesting how you label all those people as misunderstanding your point, and I feel that's wrong. I feel that's very wrong. But
that's why I re-clarified, is because I do think they misunderstood, but I also acknowledge that part of the reason they misunderstood is because my articulation needed to improve. Hence the fact why I deleted the tweet and re-clarified what my position was.
So hold on. Let me stop you. So you just said your articulation needs to improve, correct?
Yes.
So you can agree your articulation was poor.
Wait. Yeah. Yes. What do you mean? Why are you acting like this is like your big gotcha win here in the middle of everything? Yes, of course. I wouldn't have deleted my fucking tweet originally if I thought my articulation was A-okay. I said I deleted it due to the misunderstanding of my use of the word destigmatize. Okay, so now we understand each other.
Okay.
I feel like you like think that was like the biggest own around or something, but I guess I'll just, you know what, I'll just let you have that one, bro. All right, if it helps you sleep at night, you can have that one, okay?
It's funny because that's what also the female said. This is not a win. Like with the female about when she called you on the video, this isn't a win. This isn't a game. All we're having is a conversation, and for you to interpret that as "I got you" says a lot about who you are. And that was her.
My apologies for thinking that during an internet debate in which you are trying to demonstrate your point, which seems to be provably wrong, is somehow like a gotcha at times. Come on, man. Why don't we move on to the next part of this, since you said you don't have a lot of time? Then you said the most ridiculous part of this conversation is when Monkey asked you multiple times, would you allow non-offending pedophile to babysit your child, and you answer no. So, again, I don't know why people think this has any bearing or weight on literally anything. Just like I think that AA meetings can be effective at reducing alcoholics, that doesn't then mean that if somebody said, I used to be an alcoholic and I've gone through therapy, thankfully I'm not anymore, that I would then be okay with them watching my bar or hanging out in my wine cellar. It doesn't mean that I don't think the treatment worked. Rather, it means you don't put people in a situation in which they are deliberately tempted to indulge themselves in something that they have been fighting against.
That was my argument. That was my argument. My argument
that was literally by definition. You said this is because you do not trust that the therapy actually works.
Correct. So let me explain. So, are you familiar with the three modes of persuasion? Ethos, logos, and pathos.
Yes.
Okay. So now, in your own work, can you describe what ethos is?
No, I cannot. I can look it up if you'd like, though.
No, you can look it up while you do that. But essentially, ethos is trusting the person who's making the argument. Now, I felt that you defeated your own argument when Monkey asked you several times, would you allow a non-offending pedophile to babysit your child? And you said no. And I used the analogy of the mercury. I said that would be like me encouraging someone to drink mercury. Drink mercury. Mercury is safe for you. And then someone asked me, would you drink it? And I said, no, I don't want to. Ethos essentially is the person making the argument. So let me give you an example, right? I wrote it down.
Okay.
It would be like me writing a book on how to be a billionaire, right? But if I'm not a billionaire, my argument falls apart because everything that I have said that I have advocated for contradicts who I am. And I feel that was the biggest own.
This is so wrong. It's actually like I feel bad for you right now. So let me, okay, the own would be, hey Hunter, do you think this therapy works? And if I said, generally it seems to be promising, yeah, which is what I said. And then they said, okay, so what should happen when a pedophile completes the therapy and they've been documented now for a long while to no longer have these urges or at least have them reduced to the point that they're not going to act on them? What should be done? And then if I said, they should probably still be locked up in an institution, that would be an own and show that I'm not actually being not actually being consistent with whether or not I think that therapy works. That would be the own.
Yeah.
Them saying deliberately, well, would you let a non-offending pedophile watch your child? Just like I said, you wouldn't let somebody who's gone through therapy to try and unlearn their urges to steal watch your store. You don't put people in temptation.
So that means the therapy does not work. He literally asks you the question. He asks you the question: would you allow that non-offending pedophile out of therapy? Would you allow him to watch your child? And you said no, which means that therapy does not work. That's what it means.
No, it doesn't. So wait, let me ask you this question then. If somebody goes through the AA process, or you know what, even better, let's say that somebody's been like a long time addict with heroin, okay? So their brain has literally been like rewired and whatnot, and then they've gone through therapy, and then they are done with their therapy, and they no longer have these like intense, near uncontrollable urges to go shoot up more heroin, right? And if you were like, yeah, it seems that therapy's being really promising thus far, so would you let that person hang out with a bunch of buddies who are all shooting up heroin?
If he graduated therapy, yes.
Okay, then you're just a fucking dipshit. Then unironic, like unironically, dude. This I know. Listen, I know that you're gonna try to cling on to this and be like, look, I was being respectful. Now you're being mean. Yes, I am gonna be mean to you because that is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard in my entire life. It does. First of all, you're saying you think therapy is like. Hold on, stop. You're literally acting as if therapy is 100%. There's such a thing as therapy being effective, but temptation still existing, so you should avoid that temptation. This is why alcoholics who've been sober for 10 years still stay away from bars. It's not because they're actually not effective at being sober or whatever, their therapy didn't work. It's because you don't put yourself in temptation's way.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
First of all, you do graduate from therapy. That's one. That's a one. And two, if someone therapy is a long, elaborate process of mental health, I would know because I've had multiple parents who have gone to therapy. You yourself said that you went to therapy for depression, right? I could be wrong, right? For therapy, right?
Yeah.
For therapy, right? Your therapist is a fact. It's one of you wrong. Your therapist does not graduate you from your session if you still need help. You have another therapist.
No,
That's
this
why
is
you're
just incorrect.
wrong.
This
You're
is
wrong. You are
just
wrong.
wrong because this is
You're
not
wrong.
how therapy works, especially when we're talking about controlling someone's urges or near uncontrollable desires, okay? This is why I can stop. This is why I'm bringing up the drug addict thing. The fact that you would say somebody who's quote unquote graduated therapy to get away from being a drug addict should be okay hanging out with a bunch of buddies shooting up heroin is laughable to me. This is like rule number 1. You remove yourself from temptation. But removing yourself from temptation doesn't mean that the therapy isn't effective. So no, I wouldn't put a non-offending pedophile in a place in which they are going to be deliberately tempted to act in a way that is dangerous. Plus, I wouldn't put my kids at that risk. Like, give me a fucking break. So yeah, this is not complicated. The therapy works, or seems to be promising thus far, and no, I wouldn't want to put pedophiles or non-offending pedophiles in places of temptation. Similarly, if a pedophile graduated therapy or whatever was non-offending, I wouldn't want them to be leading a daycare. You don't put people in temptation.
That's right. So going back to my original point, you can Google now. Do people graduate from therapy? They do. That's a fact.
Wait, what? Whether you graduated therapy or not is literally a side point. What matters here is that even if you have graduated therapy, you still don't just put yourself in temptation's way.
That's correct. But if it's curable, then you can Hunter.
I never said it was curable. It's not curable for pedophilia.
No, it's not. It's not curable for pedophilia. We agree with that.
I also want to be really clear here, and this is something that I really wish I'd said in the ranting monkey debate that I didn't say, is we're not just talking about, in this case, like therapy, and then they're like, okay, you're good to go. Have fun being a kindergarten teacher, LOL. What we're talking about here is also chemical castration. You realize that, right? Like, I said libido-reducing drugs, and they kind of just, like, breezed past that because they were either too interested in being bad faith or they were just legitimately dumb. But either way, I should have harped on that much harder, which is we are talking about chemical castration here.
Yeah. I agree with you on the debate, but I feel that you handled yourself very bad. I mean, I agree that there should be therapy for non-offending pedophiles. That was my point. My
point, though, is that you acting as though me saying, no, I wouldn't let a non-offending pedophile who's been through therapy watch my kids is somehow an own on my end is just incorrect. In therapy and in AA, you literally learn to stay away from temptation. That is how you form good habits. You realize, let me just say this really quickly. My wife has actually been reading this book, and then she's told me about it. It's incredibly interesting. And it talks about how so many people are caught up in this mindset that they themselves need to be this strong-willed, better person, when in reality, what you actually should focus on is removing the temptation around you. So rather than you trying to convince yourself you're this strong-willed person, instead you're just removing the temptation. This is like 101 stuff. It cut out again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm here.
Someone said Corgasm said Hunter just accepted the L. Hey, Corgasm, you need to join the Discord along with Black Dynamite here. You guys can talk to me at the same time. And if you don't, then you're going to get permanently banned, okay? Because I didn't accept any L, and if you think that, then you either weren't paying attention or you were, like, distracted looking for your father. Either way, you're a fucking retard. But, okay. Go ahead.
I'm not, I mean,
Being a man
what else is there?
All right, let's see what else you said. And you know what? Let me backtrack something. And this is actually a backtrack here. I should not have said retard. I'm really trying to not say that. I think that that's ableist, and I think that it's disrespectful. And although I do like the punch that word holds, I also recognize that more often than not, by using that term, you're not actually insulting the individual. Instead, you're insulting, broadly speaking, disabled people across the board. So yeah, I apologize, and I backtrack right there when I said retard. Sometimes it still slips out. I'm trying to get better at it. And yeah, that right there is a backtrack because I said something and then I walked back on what I said and my point changed.
I'm sure it's all good.
Okay, good. What's next?
That was I think that's my entire comment. I want that was my entire comment, I believe.
So this is why I had the quote-unquote nerve to insult Monkey and his
Yeah.
audience and act like a douche towards them, is because when I'm dealing with degrees of stupidity that I didn't know were even humanly achievable, then yes, I'm going to be an asshole to those people. Especially, listen, obviously it's going to be down to the, like, individual perception or whatever, but most people that watched that debate could see clear as day that they were both being maliciously bad faith. Like when Ranting Monkey was like, oh, so the thing that happened in Germany didn't happen in Germany? LOL? Like, come on, dude. Somebody who's acting in good faith and is interested in a conversation doesn't say things like that.
Well, I don't think it's fair to say that he was acting in bad faith. Bad faith.
They were acting in bad faith. You know what? I would take that to my grave. Put it on my tombstone. Ranting Monkey was bad faith.
How was he bad faith by asking questions, Hunter?
Because the questions you ask can still be in bad faith. You realize that, right?
That's true, but the question, which question was a bad faith?
So the Germany thing? Oh, so thing in Germany didn't happen in Germany? Bad faith. The thing in which I was explaining how they go to a therapy to be taught empathy training, and they're kind of reinforce this idea that, like, this is wrong, and then he says, oh, well, I thought you said they already knew it was wrong. Yeah, obviously, I'm talking about empathy training mostly in that case. That's what I mean, is where you take little things that it's pretty obvious what I'm trying to say, and then you misconstrue it and try to use it against me. That is what he was doing the entire goddamn time.
I understand that. I mean, you can say that, but I think that he was pushing you on what you're trying to say. I mean,
that's not pushing you to same thing with him bringing up the study and then being like, look, do you think that they should be praised? Huh? I'm like, that wasn't my argument, and no? Like, what? All it was, at least for the first half, and that's why I started to get aggressive, was him trying to get a gotcha on me, and then his dumb little friend chiming in the background saying, yeah, you support pedophilia, hee hee.
I understand that.
Hunter is contradicting himself. James Collins, please explain. If you're getting chemically castrated, then you're being treated like a danger to society. Well, they are a potential danger to society. And again, we're talking about, like, going to therapy willingly and seeking this kind of thing out. So no, this is not a contradiction at all. Why does Hunter have to ad hom all the time? That's not an ad hom. I would recommend Googling what that word means. And I think that you'll have your mind blown right now, my friend. Ad hom is if I were to insult somebody or attack somebody's character rather than address their argument. If I address somebody's argument and then I throw in a little diss at the end, that is not an ad hom. An ad hom would be, hey, Hunter, this is what you said that was wrong. And then I say, you're a neo-Nazi, so you don't know anything. That would be an ad hom because it's not addressing the argument. It is just attacking the person's character to try and discredit them. So actually, unironically, what Ranting Monkey and his little chum fuck were doing when they were saying, oh, so you support pedophilia, hee hee. They were trying to slander my character rather than addressing my arguments. So good try, I guess. But yeah. Is that all you had to say, though?
That is this. I mean, if you want to read the last, I think there's like one more line down there, but that's it. I wanted to come by and speak my mind. That's it.
Okay, guys, stop banning Korgasm, okay? He doesn't need to be timed out or banned, okay? He can ask questions, and also I answered them. So anyway, okay, well, I feel like this entire time was you unironically backtracking and then just, like, soying out because I was mean, but I don't know.
Hunter, you already admitted that you were wrong, Hunter.
I did not.
Hunter, you already
what did I say that was wrong?
You know what I'll do?
What did I say that was wrong?
Hunter, do you want me to tell it again?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll say it slowly.
Okay.
For the past month, you made a statement about non-offending pedophiles. Over the backlash that you received on Twitter, these are my exact words. Then you backtracked and said, let me clarify about what I said. Now you feel a reclarification is different than backtracking. You're free to think that, but I feel the hundreds of people that responded to you will disagree. If you want to call it reclarify, if you want to call it bespoke, if you want to call it backtracking, I told you before.
Okay, so I feel like you're a little bit under the I think you have, like, a little bit of a misperception here. I wasn't like getting backlash for a month and then made another tweet and was like, here's my clarity tweet. I was getting backlash for, I was getting backlash for like 7 hours and then I deleted the tweet and reclarified. So there's that. Second of all, as soon as I talked about it on my channel, I also reiterated my position overall and my position never changed. So literally by definition, I did not backtrack. Reclarifying, no, reclarifying is not backtracking. And for you to lump those two things together is either disingenuous or proving that you don't know what words mean.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is backtracking, Hunter. It is.
Kind of like when you complain and make a big thing about how I've clarified and whatever, and then you say, oh, whatever, it's not that important, it's just semantics. Kind of like that?
Hunter, it's a minuscule point. I didn't come to argue semantics with you about backtrack versus reclaim.
Why did you make this your biggest part of the comment? Okay, buddy.
Because you tried to get me on something and you failed.
I'm trying to
You
what?
failed, Hunter.
Wait, what?
You tried to get me on something and you failed. A point and you failed, Hunter.
No, I read you a definition and then you said, well, that's not what the definition is in my opinion.
You did exactly what you did. You backtracked. At first you said we need to designify pedophilia, and then you said, "Oh wait, we need a healthy segmentation." That's backtracking, Hunter.
No, I didn't. I said there should still exist a stigma, but the stigma needs to be reduced. That still falls under the umbrella of destigmatization.
You know what, Hunter? The evidence is out there. I'm
Yeah, I know,
right
like
now.
dictionary definitions of what it means to backtrack, right? That's the
Correct.
evidence that you're denying right now because they contradict your fifis. Okay. Thanks for this. See ya. You guys hear it. If I say like, hey guys, on Wednesday I went and got ice cream and, oh wait, you know what? I'm sorry. No, it wasn't Wednesday. It was actually Tuesday. I went and got ice cream. That's me backtracking.